Hello and welcome to the podcast. My name is Susan. I'm here with my friends Nick.
Howdy.
Robin.
Hi.
Jason.
What's going on?
And Lim.
What's up?
Lim has been on before, however, the file got corrupted and all kinds of shit happened. So this is actually his first time where it will actually go on the internet.
Sounds good.
Yeah. We're going to start with some $1 million oh wait, hold on. This is our quarantine edition. Everything is back online again because I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Help. Exposed to germs. So we had to get COVID tests done today. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. But let's start with some $1 million but.
Yeah.
So, $1 million but. If you step on a crack, you clog the next toilet you use.
I already do that every time I use a toilet. I'm in. I want the $1 million. Let's go. I'm in. Easy.
You just carry around the plunger everywhere you go.
Hell yeah.
You'd invent like the pocket plunger.
Like a pocket plunger, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how would you clean that? I don't know, but I'd be up for that.
Robin's like, so I get $1 million and I don't have to change my lifestyle? I'm in.
Also, like, I have OCD and I very much avoid stepping on cracks already. Like, I could, if I really wanted to, I could just focus a little bit more on really avoiding all of them. Like,
yeah.
So you're golden. Yeah.
I'm into it. I'm
Oh,
okay
yeah.
with it.
I'm down.
Or you could be like Randy. Since you're gonna clog your toilet, hopefully it's gonna be like an impressive shit. And it would be like from South Park, that episode where have you guys seen that episode?
I can't say that I have.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're going right now.
I don't know where you're going.
They like all the fathers in the show have a debate on who has the biggest number two, and Randy has to beat some.
He has to beat Bono. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then it turns out Bono is a literal piece of feces.
Yeah, because Bono's trash.
Yeah,
Or
and
he's
so
actually
Randy has to
shit,
beat
but
his body weight.
Wow.
he's just a fool.
Would you take the $1 million?
Yeah.
Alright. So the next one, $1 million but every time you cross a black cat, you strip naked and run through the streets screaming incoherently.
Because I have a black cat. So my question is, if I like live like on a pretty small road with a cul-de-sac at the end, so like I don't know where I'm going with this, but like do I have to like every single time because like I live with a black cat who follows me around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the $1 million because my neighbors are cool. They won't say they'll be like,
You
"All
live
right,
in
my boy."
Florida.
Yeah, dude, you live in Methville. Like
They'll think it's totally normal.
Well, I'll tell them why, and they'll be like, "Alright,
Alright, whatever.
Wait,
Is that
this
just
like
forever?
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess.
that's how these work.
Oh, man.
Wait, when they say like you cross a black cat, is this like a Tron situation where you can't walk where they've already walked? Like you know how in Tron they have that wall of light behind their motorcycles?
Yeah.
So you start racing the cat to try to pass them? Or is it the boring sense where as soon as you see one?
I'd assume whenever you make eye contact with the cat, you have crossed its path. It has acknowledged your existence.
Just put a pot on top of the cat, therefore you
It
can
runs
see
right in front of you.
Just carry a gun. Just
Stop.
all you gotta do is open carry and you're good.
I'm gonna probably say no, just because like I can remember a lot of times I've randomly come across black cats, and it's in situations I really don't need to strip down naked and run around.
See,
You have to strip naked, too?
Yeah, you have to strip naked and run through the streets screaming incoherently.
I'm gonna say no. I don't come across black cats very often, but that's just one of those things. Like, I'm gonna be put on a sex offender list, and
Yeah.
like,
I already have two
You
of
know
them
what?
in my neighborhood.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll risk
Wait,
it.
Oh
whoa.
no.
Whoa, what'd you say, Lynn? You already
Wait.
have 2 on the sex offender list? What's that?
Yeah, they're 3 doors down.
Oh, people around you.
Yes, not me.
That could have been bad.
Dude, they took $1 million. They're
Exactly.
the oldest
They're
guy.
down the road right there. They'll be like, okay. They'll be like extra okay with it, if anything.
Yeah.
So that's like, that's really messed
You're
up.
just making friends now.
Yeah.
Hey, that kid's running naked again. When you want to sit out on the porch and watch.
Pervert voice. Look at that. That little boy over there is running across the street again. I love. Oh, he's so beautiful.
And they end up joining you, and it turns into like a naked 5K.
No, the police show up. And it's awesome.
Officer, you don't understand.
They're pedophiles, and I'm just weird.
I like that one.
You like this one? You like the next one?
Yeah.
So, $1 million, but every time you get wet, you grow a ramen beard.
So
You
I
roll
grew
around
a
in
beard
beer?
made of ramen noodles.
Yeah.
I mean, so theoretically, I could have an infinite food source
Yes.
and also $1 million.
Yes.
Also, that's such a cool party trick. Like, what?
Right, like, guys, check it out. Throws water on
Turn the sink on.
It should be easy to clean off too. Like, let's say you really don't want a ramen beard for some reason. Like, you don't even really need to pull it, because if it's just ramen, you just take like a blunt edge of something and just scrape your face, and it's all done. And then you got a bowl of ramen and cool face.
Get a butter knife, like.
Yeah. I mean, but if it's like a Gandalf beard, then that would just be kind of
Too much?
depends on how long it
You
is.
could solve world hunger, mailman, and you're saying,
Yes.
I don't know, seems a little inconvenient.
Let me just like hop in the ocean, grow a long ass beard. Yeah, no, I'll go for it.
I'm definitely going for it.
I would turn it down just because you've already solved the problem.
I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, I'll end up doing that one as well. I mean, free food.
I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
You can make ramen so many different ways.
Would you get captured by like, since you're saying solve world hunger, would you get captured by some like poor area,
Poor
poor
area,
country,
they just
and
put you
forced to
in
grow
water
a beard
forever.
Hey,
day in
man.
day out?
Hey man, I'm a white farmer. You know them South Africans don't want me.
Oh no. People are like, oh, I don't know. I've been talking to a few people. One of them was like, yeah, South Africa's a good place to go, but I just didn't want to because of this and that. I'm like, dude, when their personal defense like contractors outnumber the military, you know something's up.
Yeah, South Africa was pretty. If only it wasn't for the rampant extreme racism.
Yeah. It is the alternative of is it Zimbabwe or what was that other? That country that kicked out all those white people and then started begging them to come back
I think
because
it was
they were the ones who knew how to farm.
I think that was I know what you're talking about. I think that was South Africa.
Wasn't it? Here, let me look it up quickly.
Dude, what was it? I was scrolling through some memes the other day, and there was one about the whole like South Africa thing. It was all the like, there's a white genocide happening right now, and there was a question that was posed. It was like, if there's a genocide that's happened both ways, do we just chalk it up as a war at this point? Just split between 2 times.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, it is Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
So not only did they kick out all their only farmers, they decided to print all the money in the world.
What could go
Yeah,
wrong?
that sounds like some Weimar Republic type stuff right there. You know what? We don't have enough money. I've got a great idea though.
Here, let's kick out all the hardworking people.
Let's kick out the hardworking people, print money, and then apologize and try to get them all back.
Saudi, come back.
Saudi.
Dude, like, I get really pissed off because I don't know too much about my major. I'm in economics, but I know like the principles. Let me finish.
Jesus
And
Christ.
in economics, the two theories, or the two biggest things you want to control as the Federal Reserve is unemployment and inflation.
Yeah.
And you can't control both because it's impossible. But you can only control one. And the general consensus is go for inflation because naturally people will work at a certain amount. You'll have like 4% as the average. And people will bounce around that. And it kind of just pisses me off because we have these lessons like Zimbabwe and World War I Germany and Venezuela and all that. And then COVID comes around and it's like, hey, why don't we print out like $6 trillion, my guy? And I'm like, yeah, problem solved. Not only did you force people to go inside, you raised unemployment. You printed a shit ton of money. You're increasing inflation.
I got a great idea.
You
Why
ever
don't
heard
I
of
just
this?
go print some money in my bedroom?
You ever heard of this fun term called stagflation?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's just, you know, the worst possible thing to happen.
Yeah, let's not do that. Shout out to my homies in Zimbabwe who exist.
Yeah, all you audience members listening from Zimbabwe, quick shout out to you and Christina Applegate.
Good old Christina Applegate.
Do
Mailman,
we have one more? What?
have you watched the actual like clip from the Eric Andre show where Hannibal says "bitches be shopping"? Because I feel like you say it like 10 times a day now.
Any of it because it all just kind of blurs into one big memory.
Bitches be shopping.
Bitches be shopping.
Like, you know what made it amazing is, you know that scene where Eric shoots Hannibal like 15 times or
Yeah.
something like that?
Who did this?
Yeah, and if Hannibal just, if they had like an alternate version where they said "bitches be shopping" instead of just "bitch,"
Yeah.
Bitches be shopping.
I said that like once or twice the other day, and I now see you saying it like 15 times a day in response to anything. It's just
Well, 'cause-
bitches be
'cause
shopping.
the other Eric Andre quote, just straight up "bitch." I've said it so much, and it can get taken out of context so fast that like having something that's a bit goofy to add on to "bitch" is kind of nice.
Or
Then they can't complain.
whack.
What?
Whack. Hannibal at one point just says whack to something. It's become a meme now.
Maybe. Oh, whack! I thought you said something else. I can't hear you properly.
I just keep saying whack over and over again, and suddenly, oh, whack.
Whack! Do we have another $1 million, or is it
No,
less?
that's it for right now.
Damn. Well, thanks for stopping in, guys. My name's Jason. This is the podcast.
The podcast.
The podcast.
All 12 minutes of it.
14.
So,
Did want to give a little update from last week. We got a cat. We renamed the cat. He's doing well. He's adjusting. Maya loves him.
Yes, he's officially my cat. He stays in my room for the most part. But his name is Creamy. He was originally Garfield, and I decided, no, I will not have a cat named Garfield.
Because you like
That's so
him.
cliche.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cliche.
Yeah.
And what am I gonna say? Okay, so every time I say, yeah, my cat's name is Garfield, what's someone gonna say? Oh, do you not like Mondays? Oh, do you really like lasagna? Huh? Do you like Garfield Kart? Is that your favorite game ever?
Alright, let's not bring Garfield card in this. I bought that for a
Robin,
meme.
explain why you named him Creamy, because this is like a thing that's in our region.
So,
Like,
Vermont's
anywhere else in
like
the US.
one regional thing, and like how some people call like some lollipops suckers or stuff like that. Like Vermont's one regional name for something. We call soft serve ice cream creamies. Creamee, creamy. We're the only state that does it. Literally, as soon as you cross over the state line into New York, New Hampshire, or Massachusetts, they'll look at you like you've grown a second head if you say creamy. So I'm all the way out in Missouri right now, so no one has any idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, so it's one because he's orange, so it's kind of like orange creamsicle, but also kind of a throwback to my days in VT.
Also, I will insert a picture of him right here. Oh my god, look at him. He's so
I
cute.
love him.
Aww.
How adorable.
How dare you just force me to let you use pictures of my cat in your podcast, Susan?
I've already taken pictures.
I wanted to show up to the podcast mostly because I wanted to see Creamy, and also to meet the online person known as Lim, because I haven't met him in person. Or wait, no, fuck.
You wouldn't have met him in person, stupid.
He's
Yeah.
in Florida.
I keep forgetting who's regional, who's not. Because, well, I wanted to meet Creamy.
You want
And
to
then-
meet Creamy?
Somebody had to go and get sick.
Well, we're not officially sick.
We might be.
We might be,
Suspected
though.
to be.
So,
Yeah.
to explain that a little further, my little brother is dumb idiot.
Yeah.
He
He's
kinda. He had
bleep.
Yep. He wasn't feeling great, so my mom took him to the doctor. This is around the time that he normally gets sinus infections and all that kind of starts to happen because the weather is changing. It's getting colder. Happens in the fall, happens in the spring. So she took him to the doctors. They were like, nah, he's just got a sinus infection. Here, have some Tylenol. Shut up. And he's like, but what if I have COVID? And they're like, you don't have COVID. And he's like, test me for COVID. So they tested him for COVID to make him feel better, and it ended up coming back positive.
Yay, he passed.
He passed.
What a smart point.
What a dude. He passed the test.
The only test to pass other than
Big brain.
Yeah.
Giant brain.
So I watched him. Well, I didn't watch him Monday night, but I was around him Monday night, and I put him on the bus Tuesday morning. And then my parents got home from what they were doing, and I was like, cool, I'm leaving, goodbye. I was home maybe 3 hours. Robin had left for work, and I got a phone call from my dad. And he's like, hey, you need to self-quarantine. Xander's got COVID. And I went, excuse me? So I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Like, what do I do? And he's like, well, you gotta tell your work. And I'm like, yeah, I'll hold on. I gotta call a lot of people. And I hung up on him, and I called Robin immediately.
I was on my way to
Yeah,
work.
he was on his way to work. So I was like, Robin, you gotta turn around.
That would have been so bad.
Yeah,
Dude, I could have screwed over an entire Domino's location.
right.
They were probably grateful when you told them.
My boss actually was like, well, as long as you wear a mask, right? And I was like, Kate, no.
Yeah, like,
Kate, I'd love to come in and make huge cash,
however.
but for the greater good of everyone here,
Yeah,
no.
it was rough. So pretty
the
much,
CDC comes a knocking.
pretty
You don't
much
wanna
my
be there.
last 2 weeks at my current job are no more. I don't work there anymore.
Yeah,
Well, you
fuck that
Screw
place.
them. If you've had so much stress, just screw them.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, sorry, but I
You
didn't
quit?
bring it to you guys, so y'all are fine. It's just me that's fucked.
Yeah, Lim. So as a little reminder, because I don't think Lim knows. So Susan was like, I'm done here with Dollar General, and put in her 2 weeks, and she was like, hey, Robin, what's Domino's pay?
Yeah,
So Susan now works with me
Hey, I'd rather
at
work
my
at Domino's
location.
than Dollar General.
yeah.
At least Rocky
Susan-
got the greatest office in the world.
Susan has officially been hired on as the new opening assistant manager for the Domino's location here.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's great.
Yay.
And now that I'm no longer employed at Dollar General, I can say that it was Dollar General I worked at and all the shitty things. So, hey.
Yeah.
Because you no
Oh, yeah,
longer
that's
pay
right.
me, I
'Cause you
can
can't
talk shit
technically
on
say-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I got a question.
I got an answer.
Should I make this pudding?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say, could you wait for the podcast to be over?
Or at least
Oh,
do it
I'm
yourself.
just gonna wait. I just saw it and I was like, wait.
Ooh, pudding.
Yeah, we went and got tested today.
That was fun.
Whew, I got into like the individual rooms. I was the first to be taken away.
I was the last and the first one out.
And I sat there for a while. They came in. They handed me more paperwork.
Yep.
Super easy to fill out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was just like,
52
sure,
seconds.
yeah, whatever.
None.
And I'm
none,
doing
none,
it, and I
none.
look to my right, and I just see Donald Trump in my face. And I was like, oh, Orange Man, no. This TV was playing like Fox News.
You had a TV?
Yeah.
I didn't have shit.
I had a TV. Mine was playing Ellen. Susan snapped me. She's like, "Oh no, Orange Man," and I was like, "Mine's worse."
Oh, you're watching those Ellen reruns, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just watch your old Ellen show.
I really want Eric Andre to take over Ellen.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
all the movies
Yes.
that are coming
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Is that an actual like possibility?
That'd be fun.
They
Eric
really-
Andre.
They really haven't said much about it. They were just like, we're thinking about replacing her, and that's all they've really
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, 'cause
She was a piece of trash.
Fuck Ellen.
Yeah.
she's a
But yeah,
bitch.
congrats on the job.
Yeah, I'm excited. I get to make pizza.
Ooh.
I scared my mom a lot when I told her I put my 2 weeks in and that I was gonna go work at Domino's. Scared the absolute shit out of her. She was like, "Are you?" Well, she was. I'm going from like working at a store to working at Domino's, and she was like, "Are you gonna like making pizza? What are you doing? I thought you didn't want to work in food." And I was like, "Here's the thing," and I explained out all of my issues, and then I went, "And they're willing to pay me more and give me more hours." So
I
she
guess you
goes,
probably get free food.
50%
I
off
don't-
pizza.
Yeah, 50% off on carryout deals.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
If you guys order pizza for the house, just make sure like either Robin or Susan delivers if possible, and then you can pay each other the tip. So that's
See,
you aren't paying
There-
as much for the pizza because you're just sharing money with your friends.
their Domino's is a
Our Domino's doesn't deliver to our apartment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys have like a certain like map of like where you can deliver?
Yes. So me and Susan work at the Oakville location. Susan won't be going on deliveries. She'll be purely an inside person, whereas I don't do any of the inside stuff as far as like making the pizzas. But I almost purely go on deliveries. But yeah, it's only 15 minutes away, but the line, like the border line between the stores that like deliver here versus delivering over there is like 5 minutes from here.
So what you do
That
is you
long?
just get Nick to hide under a bridge and complete the transaction under a bridge
So
somewhere in the
I'm
zone.
not buying pizza under a bridge, man.
Or we deliver the pizza to that elderly couple's house.
Open up pizza.
Oh my god.
Last week when we talked about, Robin talked about an order of an order that he went on, and someone had basically like prank called pizza into this old person's house and told him to knock on the door like he's the police and say open up pizza.
So I woke up an elderly couple at like 11:15 at night by
Oh,
banging on their door almost as hard as I could and yelling "Open up pizza." Well, the thing is, so the fucking delivery instructions. A lot of people leave filigree instructions, right? And sometimes it's college kids that are being goofy and they'll put shit like that. Sometimes it's people that are like, my child is here and is asleep and he's 1 and don't you dare wake him up. And I go, well, okay.
Yeah. Wake up my child and you're
a nice
dead.
please would have done.
But yeah, so the whole thing with like bang on the door, like you're the police, is not actually an uncommon one. It's just this is the first time that it was used in a prank-like fashion.
Wait, were they like pissed off, or were they?
They
like,
were.
oh,
They were. I mean, they insisted on paying for it.
What?
Yeah, well, they have a daughter that goes to SLU, is what they were saying, which is a kind of a local college around here. And apparently
so
the
they
daughter
just
has, on a couple other occasions, like ordered a pizza while at college and just accidentally puts in her home address instead of the regular one, so it's already paid for and everything. This was a cash transaction, though. They were like, oh, it's probably just our daughter. We'll get her to pay us back. And then, so I was driving back to the store, and I get back to the store, and my buddy's like, yeah, they called their daughter. It wasn't her. Someone fucking sent a $40 pizza order to their house at 11 at night with the description to wake them the fuck up.
Yeah.
I was like,
that reminds me of my old job. So, because of the virus, my old job was a pizza place, and they would close around 10. They would usually close around midnight or 1 in the morning, but because of the virus, they weren't getting as much traffic late night, so they just closed at 10. So every once in a while, like every couple of days or so, I'll call up around 9:55, and I'll just like adopt a different accent. I'll be like, "Hello, hi, thank you for calling, yada yada yada. What can I do for you today?" And I'll be like, "You guys still open?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, we close in 5 minutes." And I'll be like, "Great, I'll be in with my whole family. I'll be right in. Thanks, guys." And I'll just hang up as quick as I can. And normally I feel bad about this, but see, the same people that I'm calling, and like I've done this to, have done it themselves. So I don't even feel bad about it anymore. I've done it about 2 or 3 times.
man, that is the scariest question, especially when it's not even close to closing, but you're the closer like I am, and you know that you're going to be here until like 1 a.m. when we close. People are like, hey, it's 10 o'clock. What time do you guys close at for delivery? Oh, like 1
10
a.m.?
o'clock.
And they're like, cool, that's good to know. And then they hang up, and you just have this feeling, that dread, knowing that someone's probably going to call up at fucking 12:45.
Oh, I could go on forever about that. I hate that so much because I used to be the closer. I was one of maybe 3 or 4 people who wanted to do my job, which was closed, and there were 2 closers. So I would and that call would come through, and sometimes the manager would be like, "Hey, we just got a call. Some guy's gonna be with his family at 9:45, 9:50, 9:55," and I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And then they would never show up, and it would just turn out to be like the guy I was working with just wanted to freak me out, so he would just go in the back room and call. But I've actually had it happen before. They didn't even announce themselves. I had everything clean. I cleaned off my flat top. I mopped everything. I had my side of the kitchen looking beautiful. And then someone walks in and they want a well done hamburger, which takes 5 minutes aside, and it just casts oil, cheese,
Everywhere.
seasoning everywhere across that flat top. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how clean it is. It doesn't matter if you keep it in the corner. It spreads out. And that happens so many times. I just blows my mind. I'd rather get the call. At that point, I was so used to people just coming in at 9:45, 9:50. Sometimes they'd be ringing in orders at 10:05 too. They just kept doing it. It was so just thinking about it is crazy. So I do feel bad sometimes with the pranks, but it's always the same person, and he knows I do it sometimes. So it's really.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Exactly. They did it to me, I'll do it to him. Funny as
I'm
hell.
I've kind of enjoyed working in the past few jobs I've had because they're very laid back about this stuff. So I mean, so I work as a CA, which is the same thing as an RA for a college, uh, and we have to work like half our hours at desk. But
Like, you like the receptionist kind of, you like let people in and stuff.
yeah, and since it's a co-ed dorm, we're supposed to check in. Well, like every other dorm in the place, we have to check in a visitor. We're like, especially couples, because it's very obvious if it's a single-sex dorm. But the good thing is we have a co-ed dorm, so I don't have to do my job if I don't know for sure that they're visiting.
All right.
So, like, let's say a girl walks in, and then a guy walks in like a minute later. I don't know. I mean, because we got both. Hey, so
Hey, if I was the RA, I'd be like,
yeah. Honestly, like I just tell people, just if you're nice about it and you're not a complete ass, I don't really care. I mean, I do want to make sure people are checked in when I'm aware that they should be checked in. Like I've had people walk up to the front of the desk and then try to go past me with like another person, like the girlfriend or boyfriend. That's the only exception. But when it comes to like our hours, as soon as we're done our hours, we don't have to do anything else. It's just, oh, it's 12 o'clock. Let's go.
This kid down the hall, he's suicidal, but I'm done my hours, man.
Not my problem
Man, I
anymore.
get paid for
if you
this.
see someone with like a giant, so let's just say hypothetically, there's just like a kid who's like 19, 20, maybe he's 21. He just walks in with a giant candle. What do? Are you supposed to do anything about that, or are you just gonna be like, I don't know?
They basically told us, if anything happens that's serious, make sure you call security and then your boss that's on duty. I'm like, okay, that's gonna help.
You
But,
spank
like-
him and you send him on his way.
Yeah,
For
you just
shame.
send them on.
If some kid walks in with a giant bottle of liquor, are you supposed to do anything?
Yeah, I mean, if it's obvious, because one of the fun things about checking people's room or seeing if they have alcohol, sometimes they're very stupid. Like, I heard one time that this kid walked in with like a 12-pack or something, 6-pack, and instead of putting it in his backpack or like carrying it in something that looks like just a random container, he just put a towel over it. So he had his hands under a towel and was trying to walk by, and like the CA had to stop him because it's too obvious. But if the kids are smart and if they leave alcohol or weed or whatever that they're not supposed to have in a container, we're not allowed to open containers or like anything that's closed. So if they're smart.
If they had like a 5-gallon bucket that was clear, it was just like sealed shut, and you could see just like a 6-pack in there. There's like technically nothing you can do.
No, if we could see it, then we have to report it. But if it's like opaque or you can't really see in.
So what you're telling me is I should take milk jugs, just take electrical tape and just cover the entire surface and then pour whatever I want in there. I'm good.
Sure. Go ahead. I mean, because I don't want to be an ass. I don't want to hunt down on people and invade their privacy.
You're
But
like,
if
you guys,
make it
you
extremely
kids got
obvious where
alcohol?
I'm not,
Just
Was
your
it-
kids got alcohol.
yeah, if like I know one of our friends has alcohol in his room, and it's all right. But I mean, I can't do anything about it because it's in a container that I can't get into, nor I don't really have like a reason to go into his room.
Nah. See, what I would do is I would hide it in my closet in one of the safes. So even if I don't pay for the safe is still open. So I would hide it in the safe and then close the closet because you can't open the closet if the closet's closed.
Probably, yeah. And like we're not even supposed to open fridges anymore.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah, because
Wow.
of sanitation for COVID.
Oh, okay.
In my old college, I heard of people storing weed in like the tiles because they had the ceiling tiles that you could just push up.
Yeah.
And it became like an inside joke in the dorm that I was in because they just had like this stash of weed that was 5 years old. And at some point, some mouse just ate a shit ton of it and died. So I don't know. It's just the story kept getting bigger and bigger the longer it was there.
Dude, was this the swastika dorm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That next door in the swastika dorms. I went to University of Maine for my first year. And you had 2 sets of freshman dorms with 3 dorms apiece. And I was in Somerset. There was Knox, Somerset, and I can't remember the other one. But I got put in Somerset. It's just it's a giant swastika because you have a giant like square, and then you have 4 hallways that branch out in like a staggered way. So if you're looking at the square, you have the top right corner and bottom left corner. You have hallways that go out there. Then you have the top left corner and bottom right corner that go out.
Yeah, from a bird's eye view, the building is shaped like a swastika.
Yeah.
So,
And they said I think it was in Knox, that they had an incinerator in the dorm somewhere.
they also had showers.
Yeah, how were the showers?
Oh yeah, they had community showers too. I mean, it wasn't like
They were a little gassy.
saw everybody naked, but like there was an open bathroom that everybody shared.
Yeah, I ain't about that.
I don't like that.
I keep my wee to myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, one of the best things about the school I'm at right now is that the insulation is so good that I can't hear anything that's happening like directly outside of my door or maybe next to my walls. But at my old school, you could hear everything down the complete hallway. Like as if somebody was just walking there, being as quiet as they could, you could still hear them walking. So, I mean, not only was it the swastika, it was just work instruction.
As if the swastika wasn't a deal breaker enough.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, to switch topics, I've been going on and on about this with everybody, and Robin knows what I'm going to be saying. But my friend, who knows a bit about cars, I asked him, like, hey, my car is making this weird rattling popping noise.
Is your friend Robin?
Hmm?
Is your friend
No,
Robin?
it wasn't Robin
I'm
this
not
time.
friends with this idiot.
I'm
What are you
talking
talking about?
This is some other guy I happened to be in Kentucky, which is one of our dorms. And he came out to check it, looked through the bottom right wheel well. I was just like, oh shit, dude, your exhaust is completely detached from the muffler.
Sick.
Should have just taken the muffler off, man.
I know. And I was thinking that, like, he was pretty happy for me because he's like, it's kind of illegal, but at the same time, that's what people do to make, like, your car more sporty or, like, loud and
Straight pipe
whatnot.
Mailman, straight pipe your Camry.
Straight pipe. Well, the problem is that the exhaust is also detached from its welded area.
You don't need one of those.
I don't get it.
You know how they put exhausts on cars? Literally rubber hooks. Like it's suspended from a rubber hook. That way, if it drags on something, it doesn't get ripped off. All you need to do is just pull those rubber clips off, and you've got yourself a banging ride.
Hell yeah! But yeah, so it's a '97 Camry, 4-cylinder.
Oh, that was pretty right.
Oh, big surprise that it's a 4-cylinder in that.
Yeah. And the best thing about it too is it only has 77,000 miles.
Dude, that's probably worth about 10 grand.
I know, and I was so upset because everything that this kid looked at, it was rusted, and it's just embarrassing. It's like getting a lecture. I don't know. It's like it's just you feel exposed being called out on all these things. Like
it's like when
your
I
shock
walk into
absorbers are
Susan's
rusted,
room.
Your suspension is rusted. Your exhaust and mufflers are rusted. Something under the engine is rusted.
All of these are optional things. I don't know why you're working.
Yeah, my car handles like a fucking boat. Every time I go over a bounce, like I feel like it goes 25 degrees both ways, like twice.
Yeah, try stopping at 80 miles per hour. You'll probably take about a quarter mile.
Yeah. I'm not. No, I don't want to die.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah.
Do you remember Jake's Elantra?
Yes, the one that looked like it got put out in a driving range.
Yeah, that thing had no shocks. It would do the same thing.
Yeah,
We'd stop and we'd just be like,
fucking
just
bouncing
back
back and forth.
forth.
Yeah, dude, that thing was a piece of crap. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what am I looking at? It had taken
You bought this?
it had taken hail damage, so every inch of the car had just dents on it. It literally looked like, there's like pieces of metal that you can just like keep throwing like golf balls at and shit like that, and it kind of keeps denting everywhere. That was the entire surface of this vehicle. There was no aerodynamics.
Dude, I think what's it called? It was either Mythbusters or someone else they did an experiment with like a golf ball car, and apparently the dimples actually do make the car go faster.
Really?
Because golf balls can travel so fast because they've got divots.
So how does that work?
No, I'm not even joking. I shit you not. Look it up. Like that's a legit video I watched. They literally made a golf ball car.
How
It's
does
basically a big car.
How does it make it fast?
I don't know, something about the way the wind bounces off it or something.
It's got to be something to do with
Something
airflow,
like that.
aerodynamics.
I don't pretend to know at all, but like apparently it did make it go like it's like a tiny bit faster.
Oh,
Wait, speaking of going faster, I want to have car decals. Since I've been trying to get in my car now, I was telling Robin I'm gonna put flames on my car.
Yeah,
Flames.
dude, I'm telling you, just cut the muffler off. You will let everyone know.
Yeah.
how
By
fast
the way, so Mailman has already described that this is a '97 Toyota Camry, but not only that,
Yeah.
it's
Why?
lavender blue or lavender purple.
Oh,
No,
you have
it's like
purple flames on it.
yeah. I'm gonna put flames on the side, and then I'm gonna cut the muffler off. I'm gonna put a giant ass wing on it. I'm gonna put a 45-degree canter on that.
You said
It's
it's
gonna be a
not
drift
king,
king.
right?
He wants to put fucking 45-degree camber on his.
Canter.
Everything else I've been like, yeah, sure, whatever, do what you want. The second he mentioned I want to put 45-degree camber on my car, I said no,
Do it.
get out of it.
You go fast enough, and it could just fly because it acts like a wing. It's angled enough where it can drive and fly.
Just put a
It makes
G-wing on the
sense.
back of it.
Shit, I could have gone into aerospace engineering.
I want to put a little spoiler on my truck. Like,
Yeah?
hey,
Are you gonna put it like above the latch so that when you take it off, it just stays there, and somebody's gonna have to wiggle it through the opening?
no, I was thinking about just putting it right on the tailgate. So yeah, like theoretically, if I was going fast enough, there would just be so much down pressure that it would just rip the tailgate off, and then I would spin it. Because you can get like spoilers that like attach right to the bed. Those are like the best option. But I'm not trying to punch holes in my bed liner because those are expensive.
Yeah, no.
But you could repair it with Flex Seal. Come on.
Hell yeah.
Why did I think? I'm done.
Yep.
But yeah.
cat tried to
Robin,
break
okay,
into my
we'll
room
talk about
again.
Oh.
So
What did you
Robin's
say, Susan?
Robin's cat is a little special.
He was, whoever his last trainer was, trained him to do some weird shit.
It's probably a 5-year-old.
So he keeps begging at my, like he'll walk into my bathroom, get up onto my vanity, and he'll just yell. He'll just yell there. He'll meow as loud as he can. And I finally, last night, I figured out what it was. He prefers to drink directly from the sink. So you have to turn the sink on with a very low pressure, and he just like gets his whole head under there and licks, and he just gets it behind his ears, all over his fucking face. He likes to bat at it a little bit, but he hasn't been drinking. I have been purposely keeping my toilet bowl closed because I'm afraid he's gonna be one of those cats that likes to play with water. I'm gonna walk in, there's gonna be toilet water fucking everywhere.
Have you taken a shower with him, like in the same room yet?
Yes, he tries to get in the shower. He tries to get in the shower with me.
Oh no, that's a weird cat.
That's
I mean, I love all cats, but like,
But
that's a weird
whoever his last owner was trained him to do some weird shit with water. I don't know what was going through their head, but
I don't know. Maybe they thought it was cute, so they let him keep doing
I mean,
it.
I'll admit it's cute to watch him do it. But now he just, whenever he's thirsty, just goes into my bathroom and starts yelling.
Instead of drinking out of his water bowl.
Yeah, he has a water bowl. He just prefers the sink.
I've heard some people say that like they do that because cats tend to want like running water to drink in, but it's not really a great excuse,
Yeah.
especially if you don't want to waste water.
Yeah, so he's been completely trained to do this now. Was not my doing. I'm just dealing with it now.
Oh Lord,
Oh,
Ow.
Lord, there's a cat.
Ow.
chunky cat.
Ow.
Got a chunky cat.
I was gonna say, go pick him up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get.
Also, the second night he was here, Maya, what the fuck, Richard?
What did she do?
She ran away from Robin and got tangled in the mic cord. And I'm sure that
Nice.
sounded awful. Maya, I'll hold you. Come
I
here.
see
I'll
you're a
hold
man
you.
of culture as well, though.
But the second night he was here, I got woken up to like a duh at my door, and I was like, Robin, are you fucking with my door right now? And I hear it again. I hear it duh, and then just meow. Then I hear Robin go, would you fucking stop? They're trying to sleep. And I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Was it the cat?
Yeah, it was the cat. The cat was trying to get in the
This
room to
boy.
play with Maya.
Oh, I'm kind of glad that they get to play with each other because I've seen some cats that live by themselves compared to ones that live with other pets,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of sad to see. Then the owners try to justify like I can't afford another cat, whatnot, and I understand that, but I don't know. Would you like to be stuck in the same room with some giants trying to entertain you? I
Some
don't know, it's just nice to have.
some cats are solitary cats, though. Some cats are just like fuck off other cats.
Oh yeah.
This
So
guy.
then put in some like mice. Put in some mice for them. Turn it into a Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them just don't like their species. They're just like, no, you can go fuck yourself.
Well, oftentimes they're just really, really territorial. Like this guy, he's fine. He doesn't care about other animals, but he hates other people for some reason.
Yeah.
Like he's fine with me for some reason, but he'll like attack my sister and my mom. And he leaves me and dad alone. It's like completely fine with him.
Fuck off,
But
Katie.
my sister, he just beats her up. He's like right now, he's like completely fine. And then when Katie gets home, she's gonna be like scratching him.
With Maya, this is her first friend that's her size and not dumb. Because no offense to my family's dog, but he's even more untrained than Maya.
He's a special boy.
And Maya is very, very stubborn.
She's gotten better.
She's gotten better.
She's gotten better. I mean, especially since you introduced her to like the bigger dogs at Nick's place.
The bigger dogs really helped train her.
Mm.
They
and
taught her the ways of dog.
Yeah, having like some other animal to train newer ones. God, it's
Wait till
amazing.
we
'Cause we
max
tried
out
so
there,
hard with
sorry.
Maya. We
Yeah.
went to tell a few stories of our past experiences with Maya. When we were hanging out with Susan while she was on campus, she would have an off-campus housing so that she can live with Maya. And Maya would just find every conceivable way of like going to the bathroom on the floor. We're like, Maya, don't. And then she got like trickier and sneakier, so then she would do it right behind our backs when we were like playing video games or something. So then we started like catching on to that and scooting her to the corner, but we were scooting her into the pad. So then she got scared of that, but then she found out a way of circumventing that. Basically, when everybody left, she would walk into the bathroom with Susan and then just look her right in the eyes and drop a deuce.
Just make eye contact, just like
Straight up. From the stories you told, right, Susan?
Yeah. Yeah, like I'd be like, all right, they're gone, and then like I'd take her outside, and she'd just stand there and stare at me. I'd be like, okay, I guess she doesn't have to go potty, and I'd take her back inside with me. I'd get ready to take like a bubble bath or some shit. I'd be in the bathtub, and I'd look over her, and she is shitting on the floor. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was so good to have another dog help train.
Yeah, I think having the bigger and older dogs kind of be like, hey, this is how we do things here, and like actually teach her.
And to intimidate her too, because she would like bark back a lot when we first were trying to like train her, and then she gets into a fight with a husky, and what was the other dog?
A large German Shepherd.
Yeah.
She wouldn't actually mess with Ruger. It was more Rosie wanted to play with her.
Yeah, Rosie, the husky, would wanna play with her, but she doesn't know how to play with smaller things, so she just end up beating her to death.
Oh, no.
Whereas Ruger was terrified of her because she's so small, he didn't want to hurt her.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah,
and he was a German Shepherd. Those are really smart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maya got put in her place by the big dogs, essentially.
Yeah.
Reminded that she is, in fact, quite tiny.
Quite small. Yeah. She started doing, whenever Ruger would bark, she'd wait a little bit, and she'd be like, oh, we barking? And then she'd start barking with him. But, like, she'd, like, wait. She'd be like, oh, he barking. Oh, we still barking? There's an intruder? Okay. I'm gonna
Ruger
start
scared
barking.
the hell out of me.
Ruger scares the hell out of most people.
Yeah, and like, so I'm at Susan and Nick's place, well, technically Nick's parents' place, but it was after COVID first started, and I didn't know if we needed to wait a little bit before going back to campus or going straight back home. And so I had a good amount of time with you guys.
Yeah, you were here. You were with us like a week.
Yeah, and Ruger was always nice. Rosie was always nice. Maya was nice too. And like, nothing happened. And then I came back with groceries one time, opened the door, and there was like steps to go. Once you open the door, it was like a step up or something. So Ruger was almost eye level with me when I opened the door, and he was staring. Before the door opened, he was staring right where my face was. I opened the door, and he just, like, not the cute part, like the intimidating German Shepherd part.
Yeah, he would scream.
I'm like, oh my god, Ruger.
Yeah, he would do that every time I came home, and I'd always respond with, shut up, I live here. And he'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
I know, he'd be nice right after, but Jesus Christ, man. Talk about a welcome.
Scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many dogs I can say truly intimidate me. Ruger is
He's spooky.
intimidating.
Nah, he's fine.
If he was on his hind legs, would be much taller than I am.
He's a big boy.
And then you have Rosie, who's just the embodiment of a Twinkie.
Yeah.
She's a round
She a husky, you know what I'm saying?
We don't even think
just
she's
when
husky
Nick's
all
dad
the
would
way.
like shit talk Rosie. That was the funniest thing ever.
We think my cousin got ripped off because I got Rosie from my cousin.
Yeah, so his cousin paid for a purebred husky, and we're pretty sure that she is part husky, part something else.
Part Malamute.
Malamute, probably. Which is like the sled dogs. Because they're bigger and they've got the smaller ears.
Yeah, she's
not. Spits.
Yeah.
She is not a full husky.
Yeah, there's no way. His cousin got ripped off.
Those purebred dogs are crazy expensive sometimes.
Oh yeah, they're definitely more expensive.
Like, my dog, Teddy, he's like a Pomeranian, and he was technically purebred, but he had like a birth defect because we're pretty sure he came from a puppy mill, so they couldn't charge like a purebred price.
Yeah.
So like he's completely fine. Like his birth defect is that he has like a shortened jaw, whatever that means. Like it's like unnoticeable. But like it's really dumb. Like like purebred and like all that stuff. Like it doesn't even matter.
I don't know. I like Wonder Bread, honestly.
Jesus
I like Texas
Christ.
toast.
Texas toast is pretty good.
Dude, we still have 2 pieces of Texas toast in the freezer.
Ooh.
And
Huh, I do like sourdough.
Alright, we got a couple more $1 million, but I don't know where Mailman went.
Jason.
How very unprofessional of him to leave during the podcast.
Jason.
Jason!
John!
Jason! There he is!
So, I didn't know when my cafeteria's closes, or when the cafeteria's closed. So I didn't know if I had to leave like right now to get my food or when we're done the podcast.
Well, we're almost done. I'm just trying to do the $1 million,
sorry.
but you vanished. So I was like, well, I don't want to start them without him. Then I'll have to re-explain.
Oh. But yeah, I'm back. My bad, G.
So, $1 million, but anytime you say like or the building you're in catches on fire.
Like,
No.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
I'm
No.
gonna say no, because
No.
I do that often.
Even with $1 million, I don't.
No.
The amount of time it would take for me to train myself not to do that, I would have already burned down like
train yourself in
15
a field.
buildings. Like,
Well, think
I
of
just
the
did it. I just did
insurance
it.
money. Think of the insurance money. Because
no
if
place is
the
gonna
burns down-
insure me, mailman. After the first 2,
Yeah, after the first 2 fires, I don't think anyone would.
you'd be like, "Oh, you're an arsonist." No, fuck you.
Oh, you like
how would
playing
they
with
know? Because
fire?
it just randomly combusts.
Go to
And how much actually catches on fire?
When
Does,
did
it,
you
does
say?
it start as like a small speck right in front of you, or is it somewhere hidden and you have to run around and find it? I'm still saying no, but I'm saying like if you can weasel your way out of a terrible situation, like with specific wording or how it.
You just have to
Initially
not say
start.
the words like or
When did
I
you
No,
say?
I'm saying how the
I
fire
love it just caught on fire.
starts. Like,
Like
how does the building
buildings.
catch on fire? Is it just everything up in flames all at once, or is it a small spark that starts a very
I
small fire?
I'd assume it's everything at once.
Oh Jesus, yeah,
Just
everything's dead.
explode.
Yeah.
Just explodes.
Yo, Lynn has a great idea. Just go to furry conventions.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
But think about it, it's just like usually those are hosted in the convention rooms in a hotel anyway, so you're putting a small chip in the pockets of a very, very large corporation that could probably care less if that location goes up.
Exactly.
If they're trying to like rent out to like a furry convention, they're strapped for money anyway. That insurance money would help them out.
Would that be
So
considered
oh
a hate
no,
crime?
my big business.
Would that be considered a hate crime?
It's not a hate crime if you love doing it.
And that's the name of the podcast this week. It's not a hate crime if you love doing it.
Yep.
Alright, next one. $1 million, but whenever you stop at a stoplight, you have to ask the 10 closest strangers what their gender is.
I no longer am stopping at stoplights.
Yeah.
So you've just given me a pass to run stoplights? Okay.
But
Just
you
like
don't.
your
You just
boy.
have to ask them. You don't have to like have them carry you. You just have to ask them.
Dude,
Looks over all your windows up. What's your gender?
Susan, so you know how there's that new thing that people have? It's a megaphone for your car. You plug in.
Oh my god.
So I
So
want to get one of those.
Yeah.
What's your,
if you just plug that in every time you stop at a stoplight,
what's your
all you gotta
gender?
do, what's your gender? And that's it. That's all you
the
gotta
cop
do.
is like,
And everyone's around like, what the fuck was that?
If they give the wrong answer, you have a train horn attached to your car. Female cringe.
so I was in Daytona on Saturday, and there was a truck meet there, and there were 3 or 4 dudes with train horns, and the cops were just chasing them. Straight up.
What a way.
Daytona's no joke.
Dude, Florida's no joke. It's. Oh.
I mean, I kind of want to get a train horn for my truck, but that means I'd have to install an air pump somewhere in the truck.
This
I
one,
don't know how to do
this
for
one's
that.
good. This one's a good one.
All right.
$1 million, but whenever you masturbate, you forget who you are for 24 hours.
I no longer know who I am ever, again, but I have $1 million. Sounds like bliss.
I don't know who I am or what I must do. All I know is that I have money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a page out of Mailman's book. So, like, do you know, like if you find like a picture of yourself and see it, do you know that's you?
You could leave
Or,
a
like-
note for yourself.
Like you find, like, let's say you find your ID. Can
Yeah.
you like remember who you are?
Yeah, so
I
like someone who
guess.
has amnesia can still remember again eventually. So
I
yeah,
feel like it would slowly come back to you. I feel like that would be reasonable. But
Well-
what constitutes masturbating? Is it like you go to scratch your balls, then the fate thinks that you're masturbating. Rip.
well actually
You're gone.
the way the question is answered, maybe you can't. Because it specifies you forget who you are for 24 hours, implying that it's not like you forgot and if you don't even remember in the next 24 hours, it'll come back in 24 hours. It implies that you're not able to remember for 24 hours.
So you're just constantly blacked out?
You're just blacked out for 24 hours,
Who am
basically.
I? What am I doing?
Even if you come across your ID, anything like that, and you're like, oh, that's weird. What?
Who's that man?
Just do that when you get arrested for something.
I don't know. 1 second,
I
officer.
don't know. Shit.
1 second, man.
I don't know who
I don't know who I am now.
This is a human right. I must do this.
Gets put in jail.
It was for the mill. It was for the mill, officer.
No homo, I swear. I swear under oath, there was no homo.
You don't remember what you talking about.
Yeah, see, you wouldn't even know. So on a daily routine, you're like, oh yeah, that time of the day, and then you just restart all over again.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, I think that about does it
Yeah.
this week.
Does us.
Does
That
us.
about does us, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.
Should I order Domino's?
Should
Gang.
you order Domino's? Yes, sir. Do the $5.99 mix and match meal. Only get medium pizzas and like bread items.
I'm home alone right now. I don't have anything. I don't have anyone here, so I'm just gonna eat a whole pizza by myself.
Dude, get a medium hand tossed pizza. Keep the toppings pretty simple, and get like a thing of like an 8-piece wing option. There's a bunch of different flavors, and that'll be
That sounds so good.
super cheap for you and delicious. So
Yo,
I'm gonna
$5.99 mix and
I'm gonna
match.
do
That's the coupon you asked for.
thanks to everybody who listened. Domino's, you've already hired 2 of us. You might as well sponsor us at this point.
We're not
Yeah.
yet.
Domino's, eat fresh.
Domino's. You already pay
Wrong
us, so you
brand.
might as well pay us a little bit more. Everybody say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.